When it comes to scaling Facebook ads, do you know ultimately one of the most important things that it's absolutely crucial so that your ads don't fatigue out? Do you know what it is? Well, the answer is right here. As you can see, I'm in one of my ad accounts right now, and these are the amount of ads from this one ad account. Do you know what the number is? 24,954 ads created from this one ad account. Now, what does this mean? It means that ultimately, if you want to scale ads, if you want to avoid hitting that brick wall where there's diminishing returns, whereby for every $1 you put in, you're no longer seeing the results that you are hoping to get, then ultimately you got to be able to understand how to create different ad angles, different creatives, different messaging to promote that product, program, or service. And today in this video, I'm going to be showing you how can you scale by having different angles through taking you behind the scenes to a coaching call that I recently did so that you can scale utilizing more creatives, ad angles that isn't dry, boring, or cheesy. Okay, let's begin. Let's say there was a video, and the video is literally of me driving, okay? It starts off with me seated over here in the front seat like this, okay? So it starts off with me seated at the steering wheel, and within the first 3 seconds, I get a friend who sits behind me, who puts a bag over my head and takes out his belt, leather belt, and puts it over my neck, for example, right? High drama. And then the video pauses. And then there's the voiceover. The voiceover is, if you were in this situation where somebody was strangling you from your back, what would you do? Michelle, tell us who do you serve and what is the result you help your audience generate?
I help moms to pick up a lifelong skill set of brush calligraphy so that she can have meaningful conversation with a child. I don't know why my ads is not performing as well, but you actually mentioned that it's the ads fatigue. So I hope to be able to bring in at least 116 sign-ups consistently per month and able to scale my ads successfully. So what's the next thing that I need to fix?
You don't need to be creating 100 plus different ads. It's all about creating one great ad at a time, okay? And it doesn't need to be high production value. It just needs to be meaningful, shareable, engaging. So here's what I would like you to think about. Based on this example with Michelle, I would like you to think about which angle you can utilize, which is basically which type of style, what type of speaker are you, what type of author are you, what type of guru are you, which note-taking style are you adopting, right? So this is like the survey. For me, it was like choose your favorite guru, where you show your audience something and they want to tag a friend because oh, that's me, right? I am, that specific personality type. A video can be 6 figures, in some cases 7 figures, 5 figures, right? So remember, messaging always beats production. So it's not about the budget or making a great ad, it's about your message. And it doesn't need to be high quality, it doesn't need to be high production value. It could be just showing your audience the application of it. So notice what I'm doing here. This is that's the hook. It's a survey, right? It makes people tag a friend to show them which guru do you like, which personality type. This is what makes a person think, right? So just see it again. Choose your character. Okay, so when you start thinking like that, this is, as you guys might have seen, this is an actual opener to my ad. Again, I don't care about the views on TikTok, right? But how I utilize that as hooks in my ads, that is going to pay off a lot more. Okay, and that's why I'm willing to do these type of videos on TikTok. Okay, so here's what I would like you to think about in your market, all of you, each one of you, okay? How can I make it applicable? So sometimes it's hard for a person to see how that might look like. Another angle I'm just going to give you guys while we are on this topic, okay? Number 2 is a more elaborate, in-depth, right, application. Now, I know that calligraphy obviously has got a lot more to just note-taking, okay? But that's the world I understand. So, application would be, so imagine now, it is just you doing a quick note-taking session, but in your beautiful handwriting of 5-10 pages or whatever. So maybe the next time you attend an event, you take over the top beautiful looking notes, and your angle would be want to be able to take notes like these, right? And it's just a screen recording of maybe a fast cut. Maybe the next time you're doing it, it's literally you drawing, but they see the fast version, but at the same time how it's being drawn and how it appears as the finished product, right? So I'm gonna show you like different examples of how it might look like. So for example, Shu Ying was at my cousin's event. His name is Joey Yap. He is in the feng shui market, and what Shu Ying did is when she was at this event, what she did is literally, this is what I would do. If I was selling a calligraphy market, it would be want to be able to take beautiful notes like these. And again, she didn't even polish this up. She is just taking it in real time because of this one. And she always says how she was able to be able to take notes and draw like that because of this calligraphy training that she attended, years ago. And to me, if somebody can take notes like that because of calligraphy, the ROI is insane. I mean, just think about the learnability and the potential of somebody absorbing information as a direct result of having this skill set. In fact, let me ask you guys a question. If you could take notes as beautiful as this, how many of you here, if that was the objective of this specific calligraphy workshop, and from this point forth, when the next time you took notes, you could take beautiful notes like that, how many of you here, even though calligraphy was something that you never even was interested on, right? You never even thought about, you now have desire and intention to attend this calligraphy workshop because it would level up your note-taking skill? How many of you would actually do it? So this is what I mean to be able to scale to colder audiences. Michelle, what are your thoughts so far right at this point, right? Utilizing these different angles.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Actually, one of the Instagram posts that I actually shared before is actually, I my partner Therese actually write on a piece of blank paper, and it make a very nice wrapping paper, and we actually wrap it during the Christmas season.
So here's what I would like you to do, okay? Now, what you just told me, I'm always thinking about, if I was selling that product, can I relate it to an actual story that happened for me? And what you just told me is very powerful, because I can tell you that as a kid growing up, when I was a kid living with my parents, I remember in their room, my dad, he had this little poster that says, "There is no substitute for hard work." And it was a very meaningful poster for me because my father really was one of the most hardworking people in the world that I know of. If you know that story, my dad, he worked on 2 jobs for 13 years. He had a 9-to-5 job with the government of Malaysia, and after his 9-to-5 on the weekends, he'll be working on a farm as a farmer, and 13 years he did that day in, day out. And I know as a kid, every time, like that quote is probably the most meaningful quote to me, because I literally would stare at that quote every time I'm about to go to the toilet when I was living in my parents' house. I can tell you that for many people, in one way, shape or form, there is some sort of meaningful quote or favorite quote that every person has. For me, it would be that quote, "There's no substitute for hard work." When you tell me that story, I'm straight away thinking about creating the bridge, right? So it's like, can you imagine, again, application, calligraphy, note-taking, wrapping paper, quotes, okay? So now it would be telling your story, right? You like the one from Maya Angelou. So what I would do is I would have that quote in my backdrop, and I would tell the story about the quote. So I would have that, and you would say, for the longest time, this Maya Angelou quote here has always been something of meaning and significance to me, and here's the reason why. And then you'll tell that story. The same way how I would tell the story of there is no substitute for hard work. Then you transition to your offer. How do you do the transition? By saying, so when it comes to motivational quotes, when it comes to these type of inspirational quotes that we all love, chances are we probably never even either printed it out, and even if we did take the time to print it out, it is some generic printing taken from the internet. But what if you could decorate your home with something that is original to you? so that when your visitors, your guests, your kids are looking at it saying, "Mommy, mommy, what is this quote all about?" you can actually explain it to why this would be your favorite quote in the world. And that's one of the things that we do at our workshops. I want to be able to help you create your favorite quote ever so that it's original to you in a thrilling 2-day event, so that even if you're an absolute beginner, even if you've never drawn anything your entire life, you'll be able to walk out of this workshop with a beautiful quote that is drawn by you, so that you'll be able to share it with your loved ones, right? So now there's application, right? It's not just calligraphy. Remember, in the before video, what is the before? The before video was this, right? And while this is great, people can't see the application in real life. So Michelle, first thing to really think about is the different ad angles that you can utilize based on, now obviously there's a lot of different angles, but this is something you'll be able to utilize together with everybody else here. Okay, Michelle, does this make sense?
Yes.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes to this coaching call. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, be sure to smash the like button. It does help the channel out a little bit. And to subscribe to this channel if you want to be notified of future videos just like this one. Now, some of you asking me, how can I be part of this process? How can I ask you questions? How can I have you coach me or mentor me? We want to make sure that we are working with the people that's the right fit. You'll need to fill up a form. There's a link right below this video. Somebody on my team might give you a call to interview you to see if they're right fit for each other. And if you want to apply and see if you're a good fit, then all you need to do is click on this link in the description box below, and my team will be in touch with you.